My name is Mark Wohlford with Bose McKinney Evans, and I'd like to take a moment today to talk with you employers and HR professionals about something that's either going to be a word of encouragement, a friendly reminder, or a warning about making sure that you're still documenting employee misbehavior or violations of your company policy or other infractions that you just can't live with. In a tight labor market like we have right now, there can be a temptation to hire an employee that maybe you would have overlooked a year ago. There can also be a temptation to let things slide that you normally wouldn't. Maybe for you, constant confrontations over minor infractions is not the type of culture that you want to create. Maybe in a tight labor market, you're concerned that the employees that you have are going to find greener pastures elsewhere. Really, when employees have options, what happens for you is you start second-guessing the policies and procedures that you have in place. In moments like these, I want to encourage you not to abandon your documentation habits. What I'm not saying here is that you have to go through some sort of verbal counseling or formal written warning or other confrontational notice every time an infraction happens. What I am saying is that it's better to make sure that you're still documenting every infraction as it occurs, whether you're going to bring it to the employee's attention or not. What you want to do is have a firm grasp of when you're comfortable documenting something without some type of confrontation versus when you're comfortable documenting something and you actually want to have a confrontation. In both instances, you're still making sure to document the infraction or violation of policy that you've observed. That way later, if you determine that 2 or 3 minor infractions were not enough on their own to warrant confronting the employee, but now after 2 or 3 you think there's enough of a habit here that I want to get in front of the employee some sort of verbal counseling, now you've got the documentation to back up that confrontation. That's going to lead to a more productive coaching session or discussion with the employee. If their behavior at that point gets better and things improve going forward, you've done your job. You've documented it, you've coached the employee, and now the employment relationship can continue unhindered. But if they don't, you don't want to be stuck in a situation where you're several months down the road and you haven't documented anything, and now you've got to confront the employee again, or you've got to take an actual disciplinary step. In the end, what you want to create is a plan that allows you to have uniformity of enforcement, but also the discretion to act when necessary. However you decide to strike that balance, documentation is necessary to minimize mistakes and to limit the liability and risks that your company can face. If you want to think through your policies, how you structure your business in this tight labor market, and how you can go about implementing a process that works for you, I encourage you to contact the Bose McKinney Evans Labor and Employment team today.